Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about today I'm going to be doing my RWBY Volume 5, Season 5, Episode 13, aka Chapter 13 review. Another freaking great episode. These last few episodes have been pretty freaking awesome. Um, So, yeah, let's just get into it. It's just a lot of stuff happening. So, episode starts off. You have Weiss still being healed by Jean. John's healing her up. Nora's covering for him. Ren eventually gets taken out. There was a big uppercut by RWBY. RWBY like literally punched Mercury like right in his face, and just totally like puts him down. It was kind of hilarious how RWBY just like totally snapped at him. It was beautiful. Um, Nora eventually goes to aid Ren because he gets hit by uh, the muscular dude that like is all butt hurt, taking out Ospin, and then he takes out Ren, and so Nora goes out to him. Um, the whole thing with Jean is they talk about the unlocking of the semblance, and the thing, and I've said this before, and I still don't know why people are talking about how we didn't know about the semblance or whatever. If you played the Rooster Teeth licensed video game by RWBY, that's available on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, um, like he has this ability, like he literally has this ability. I mean, he does it in red instead of white, but he has this ability. So I don't know why people are surprised that he can heal. Like it's in the video game, you know what I mean there? Like it's literally in his video. It's literally in the video game. I mean, he does it in red instead of white, but I mean, still, it shows that obviously Rooster Teeth had plans to make this his ability. Um, you know what I mean there? Um, I don't understand where people are shocked. I mean, unless you haven't played the video game. But if you played the video game, then you already know this. I mean, you should know this. Um, I don't know where people, were fooled by this. Um, So, anyways, got Weiss being healed up. John says, just stay down, just stay down. I keep healing you up. You know, maybe Weiss will learn how to like John now, since John just literally saved her life. Since Weiss was like, I don't want to date you or whatever. Remember that? Because she was too into Neptune or whatever. And maybe Weiss will think twice now. Since she was just saved by Jean, we'll see where that goes. Um, you see Weiss. She's got she like summons some of her ice through her hand or whatever, and she's still fighting. Um, or not fighting, I'm sorry. Basically, there's a scene then where Nora, goes after the big muscular dude, and she does her little pink electricity, and then she gets knocked out. So she talks to Osmond and like, what his weakness is and stuff like that. And so then she just like goes right in there and just basically clubs her with her, with her hammer weapon or whatever. She just like clubs him like a baseball bat, like just hits him literally right out of the park, and he goes right out of the you know breaks, through the house or whatever, or the academy, and is outside. When they're outside, then you see Adam and some of his little Faunus goons, and then he is next. You think when he's about to talk to him, next thing you know, Blake's there, and Blake tells him to surrender, and he's like all evil, like I've been trying to capture you, and you came right to me, and then all the Faunus people just like are ready to like fight him and stuff like that, and he's like all like trying to tell him like, no, this is not right. They're gonna, they are the enemies and stuff like that, and then they're not buying it, and Blake says it's over, you know, and stuff like that. Um, it's really cool. I didn't expect Blake to be there, but she was, and now like Team Ruby is officially reunited. Um, but then Adam basically like he tries to weasel himself out by like hitting a button, which is supposed to be some bomb. So he basically can kill everyone, including himself, I guess. As like a sacrifice, and that doesn't work because it's learned that Ilya disabled the bombs. Um, so yeah, Ilya is officially good. So yeah, there's that. Um, so then you got Blake's mom in a helicopter, and you got a police officer with her, basically saying, "Adam, you know, you know, remain silent or whatever. We're gonna place you under arrest. You know, for your crimes." Do they even know that they killed the Faunus queen yet, or whatever? Like, do they even know that yet? I think so. Like they gotta like by now. Like, come on now. Like, yeah. So I guess that's the end of Adam. I think Sun appeared there as well too, briefly. Um, Blake gets into the inside the academy, and sees the rest of the Ruby people. They had the little thing, Yang sees her, and she's like, "Oh, Yang," and then that was kind of it because Yang and Ruby and everyone else, I guess, life was still kind of out, um, and that was kind of it because Yang had other things to do. We'll get to that in a second. Um, while this was going on, before Adam was apprehended or was about to be apprehended, the big muscle guy basically, Adam asks, "So what do we do?" And he says, "You're on your own for this." And he charges himself up, with this red stuff in his arms, and he's ready to go, and ready to fight. And then all of a sudden, you see Weiss, come out of nowhere, and has this big, ice pillar thing right through him and whatnot. And it's just this huge, big, soldier thing, and it just looks so epic. I guess Weiss unlocked her power, that Winter had been trying to get her to do. Um, so there's that. Um, After that is all done, like I said, Blake kind of had a moment with reuniting with Yang and the rest of the Ruby people. Um, and then after that, they go to or Yang, is going after Mercury's trying to stop. Mercury and Emerald are trying to stop, and Yang actually loses her arm, and that leads to her going down to where Cinder and Raven and Vernal are currently at. And while she's going down there, they go to this epic fight between Cinder and Raven, and Raven is like, or first Cinder's like, um, she talks, how you killed someone, when the person must have died peacefully or whatever, insinuating what I thought, that Raven didn't actually have the Spring Maiden powers originally, that someone else had them first, and then she inherited them from that person who passed away. We don't know if that's official because Raven never responded to what Cinder said. Cinder just assumed that, but that's you know that's what I think, and that's what the what the general consensus is at this point, because that's why Cinder would ask that, is she would think that. But we don't officially know yet because Raven has yet to answer that. I'm sure we're gonna probably find out in the next episode. I'm willing to bet on it. But Cinder and Raven are fighting. Raven talks about how, she, consumed herself with Grimm because she has these Grimm powers now, and how she's like, she's just getting stuff through that powers and stuff like that. Just back and forth fighting with their maiden powers. It just looked really cool. Seeing two maidens fight. And eventually it's not looking so good, but I don't know exactly if Raven would have won, but Raven was getting ready. Cinder was, starting to lose a grip on her, and Raven's like, never turn your back or whatever. And then you see Vernal use her weapon out of nowhere, and that, slight distraction on Cinder led to Raven taking out Cinder, finishing off, and then she pushed her down this fall, and then basically froze her into ice. I thought this was pretty interesting, not because of what she did to Cinder, but of the power she used. Because the power she used was something that I would think the Winter Maiden would have been able to use, because it was snow, to freeze someone. That doesn't seem like something that a spring power would be. So, to me, that was kind of a little weird that she was able to freeze Cinder, even though she's the Spring Maiden, not the Winter Maiden, but she froze him, which is like a snow or winter type attack. So, yeah, that was kind of really weird. So a lot of people are presuming Cinder is dead. Um, I'm not sure if that's the case here. Because, I mean, let's think about it for a second. They don't actually show her die. Just because she's frozen doesn't necessarily mean she's dead. I mean, this is fiction. We had Avatar Aang frozen in an iceberg for 100 years. If Aang can be frozen in an iceberg for 100 years and live, I think Cinder can live as well. We did also see Cinder without her cover, like her black cover on her one eye, and it's a huge scar, like a horribly bad scar. She has like no eye there anymore, which we all expected. But point is it just looks awful. Raven, and you gotta remember, guys, Ruby Rose's silver eyes did that. Just let everyone know. Like, let that sink in, people. She decapitated someone's eye. She blinded someone, and she didn't even have the full effect of it yet. She has control of that shit. Man, oh my god, it's gonna be like crazy when she gets full control of that thing. So yeah, that was it, and then Raven basically covers Vernal's eyes and thanking her. So I guess Vernal is officially dead, which kind of sucks because Vernal was a newer character, and they kind of just like we all expected her to be this, powerful maiden character, and then it turns out she ends up just being a decoy, and now all of a sudden she's just dead. It just kind of sucks, to see a new character like that, that you think is going to have a lot of, promise, just be a, a forgettable character and then just dies afterwards. Um, but I guess that's what happened here to Renald. She lived long enough just to assist Raven one more time, and that was the end of it. So after that, then Raven basically, goes to, the gate where the relic is, and the gate opens, and it's basically this desert, which kind of surprised me. I didn't envision the room being that big for a dang relic, but it appears it's going to be a venture in itself to find the relic in that gate. Um, but right when Raven's about to step into this desert place to find this, artifact or relic, you see Yang right there at the end, and that's how it ends. So Yang and Raven, or I guess Yang's mom, is about to have a big talk. Now I don't know if or if Yang actually seen Raven fight Cinder, to see the Spring Maiden powers. Um, that's probably the one question here, is if she's seen the powers or not, because that's going to bring up a lot of questions, for Yang in itself. You know, did Osmond know? Didn't she know? And we're going to probably know at the end of next week's episode if she knew or didn't know. Um, or if the person died, and that's how she got the powers. We're gonna find that stuff out. There's gonna be answers on what's happening, and how Raven got the maiden powers that she has. Um, so yeah. As for the mystery of Cinder, a lot of people think she's dead. I'm not gonna rule her out dead yet, but there's a strong possibility she's dead. But if Cinder is dead, who did she give the maiden powers to? Because the last person she would have thought of would have been Raven, right? Because that's who she was fighting. I mean, a lot of people think, well, maybe she was thinking of Emerald, or something like that. I don't think so, because she was fixated on Raven at that point. She was fixated on Raven. So, I mean, if she's dead, wouldn't Raven then inherit the Fall Maiden powers? So that's why I'm saying I don't think Cinder's dead. I don't think she's dead, because if she was dead, the powers would have transferred immediately. And they always had that effect. 'Cause remember when Cinder fully killed Amber? She immediately got like the powers right away. In both eyes. It's almost immediate. So I would have to think she was thinking about Raven at that point, because she was fixated on trying to fight her and kill her. Um, so yeah, that's something that is that I'm really interested in. Also, to note again, Neo did not appear in this episode, which really pisses me off, because Neo was supposed to be in this season. It was stated by Rooster Teeth that she was going to be in this season, and there's only one more episode left, I guess. I think there's only one more episode left for this season, and I don't think I can't see how Neo's going to be in the next episode because of the way the plot went. Like, everything has been resolved. Everything has been resolved. Like Adam's been captured. Or I think he's been captured. I mean, maybe he escapes the last. I don't know. Second, but everyone's been captured. So everyone's been taken out. The goons. They tried firing guns at them. That isn't gonna work. You know, they're all surrounded basically. So like they're screwed. Like everything's been basically resolved. Like what else is there? Like at this point, like you know what I'm saying? You know, in terms of those conflicts. I mean, the only conflict really now is between Yang and Raven. Really, you know, the mystery of the Spring Maiden powers and whatnot, and that's really basically it. I mean, that's the last thing that has to be resolved here. You know, in this season, I can't see anything else. Um, yeah, that's about it for my review. Overall, I like this episode. They've been doing really good with the last few four episodes now. Been really really good and highly entertaining. And I can't wait for the last episode to air next week. Um, if you guys haven't seen my previous review for episode 12, it will be in the description. Um, I'll also have my new theory video that I recently just called. It's called the Maiden Theory. The link will be in the description box for that theory, too, for if you guys haven't seen it yet. Um, there will be that. Um, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.